All right, today this is episode 9, the last episode of the week. Today's music review will be Midnight Marauders by A Tribe Called Quest. Midnight Marauders is the third studio album by A Tribe Called Quest, released November 9th, 1993 on Jive Records. Recording sessions for the album occurred at Battery Studios, Platinum Island Studios, and Scorecer Sound in New York City. Its production was mainly handled by Q-Tip, along with contributions from Skeef, On Slam, Large Professor, and the group's DJ, Ali Shahi Muhammad. Now, a culmination of the group's two previous albums, People Instinctive Travels and The Low End Theory. It features an electric, gritty sound based on jazz, funk, soul, and R&B samples, in addition to socially conscious, positive-minded, humorous lyrics. Recording sessions took place throughout 1993. Midnight Marauders debuted at number 8 on the Billboard Billboard debuted at number 8 on the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the top R&B hip hop album charts. Its first two singles, Award Tour and Electric Relaxation, charted Billboard's Hot 100 before the release of their final single, Oh My God, on January 14th of 1994. The album was certified gold by the Record Industry Association of America, with shipments of over 500,000 copies throughout the United States. Then, one full year later, on January 11th, 1995, the album was certified platinum with shipments of 1 million copies. The album did receive much positive reviews from critics. In the following years, Midnight Marauders has acquitted further acclamation from within the hip-hop community for its production, chemistry, and influence, with some regarding it as the group's best work and one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time. Several writers have credited that it's a contributor to a second gold age of hip-hop throughout the mid-1990s, as well as the principle of the native tongues movement. Now, A Tribe Called Quest sought to further develop the bass heavy sound of its previous album, The Low End Theory, with Q-Tip, the group's member, setting up production and his production equipment in the house basement of fellow member A Tribe Called Quest's Fife Dog's grandmother. When Fife explained, my grandmother gave him a key and the whole nine, he used to go in and just do his thing. Most of the album was planned in the basement, though Q-Tip also worked on outside projects there, including the beat for Nas's One Love, which appeared on Nas's debut Illmatic in 1994. Fife Dog recalls the pressure that the group faced to make a solid follow-up, The Low End Theory. Obviously, that's a 2-year wait, so there was a lot of pressure, like, can they do it again? Q-Tip is really hands-on. I mean, Q-Tip is a genius when it comes to producing and with lyrics, so by the time he was finished sequencing the album, he's like, yo, B, we did it again. The album's title, Midnight Marauders, originated from Q-Tip's lyrics in the song Vibes and Stuff from the previous album, The Low End Theory, though it was later interpreted by group member Ali Shahi Muhammad. A Tribe Called Quest are like sound thieves for your ear, looting for your ears. Recording place took over a period of 9 months, starting from January of 93 all the way when it ended in September of 93, about 2 months before the album's release. Production of Midnight Marauders is a return to the electric sampling that the group was originally known for, featuring samples of mainly 70s jazz, funk, soul, and R&B. Q-Tip says, describing the album's drum programming, he says, there's some epic drum sounds that will tear your head off, and there are ways that sound on different levels too. Drums don't always have to be super loud, but when you listen to electric relaxation, the drums are trying not to kill you. It's very much controlled, but even if it's a smaller sounding beat, you want the tone to be like at any movement of the tone of these drums that can go from 5 to 10. That's the whole vibes of a Tribe's drum sound I was trying to go for. Q-Tip also experimented with vocal sampling techniques on the album from the song's lyrics to go. He samples a portion of Inside My Love by Minnie Riperton, in which Riperton's whistle register is sustained throughout, giving lyrics to go a droning backdrop. On the song Sucker Nigga contains a slowed down sample of Rodney C's voice from MC Battle with Busy B, which was featured in the 1983 old school hip hop film Wild Style. The lyricism is often regarded as the best on any Tribe Called Quest album, and the group's biggest improvement since their debut, People's Instinctive Travels in the Passive Rhythm. The group's documentary director, Michael Rappaport, stated, "They followed a classic and upped the ante, put it like this. The Low End Theory would be the first run at the championship ring, but it takes a different mentality to stay focused and do it again. Especially the subject matter on the album, including social issues, the use of the N-word in everyday life, as well as sports, as several sports references, building on the lyrical interplay that was established on the Low End Theory. Q-Tip and Five Dog are practically telepathic, on some songs providing a contrast in both delivery and style. Through the aspects of the group's lyricisms can be improved on the album, including cadence, flow, diction, and the use of metaphors. The song 8 Million Stories is telling Five Dog storytelling as he details a laundry list of mundane annoyances on the song Oh My God, referring to himself with being a funky diabetic, which early in 1990, shortly after the release of their debut album, Five Dog was diagnosed with diabetes, and unfortunately, in 2016, Five Dog passed away from complications of diabetes at the age of 45. Rest in peace, Five Dog. However, that following year, throughout 2016, they remade one last album entitled We Got It From Here, Thank You For Your Service, which was released approximately 8 months after Fife's death. James Bernard of Entertainment Weekly praised the group for managing to hold our attention without resorting to gun references or expletives. Now the album cover depicts a woman painted in Afrocentric colors, continuing the artistic theme found on the Low End Theory album cover. According to Ego Trip's Book of Rap List, there are reported 71 different luminaries and radio DJs who adorn Midnight Marauders. Some of the artists are Third Base, Africa Bambaataa, AMG, Ant Banks, The Beastie Boys, Black Moon, Busta Rhymes, Casual, Chuck D of Public Enemy, Chubb Rock, Chi Ali, the Cold Cush Brothers, Diamond D, Dr. Dre of Yo MTV Rap, Sean Combs, Heavy D, Ice-T, Jazzy Jeff, DJ Jazzy Joyce, Kid Capri, Cool DJ Red Alert, Large Professor, MC Light, The Far Side, and Souls of Mischief, just to name a few. Too Short. Now, critical reception. Midnight Marauders has received widespread acclaim for musical critics, with Vibe magazine hailing it as a rap classic and naming it and calling it the group's most complete work to date. The Source magazine's Dreamhampton credited the group for doing what they've always done: ignore all of the current trends in hip-hop and deliver a solid collectible, adding the realized solely on their street poetry, Zulu delivery, and bebop beats to attract consumers. So it has been in the a lot of magazines ever since the release. The Midnight Marauders has been included on several best of lists compiled by music writers and journalists, such as Rolling Stone magazine, which named it one of their was named number 201 on their 100 greatest albums of all time in its Revive 2020 list of Rolling Stone. The Source magazine also called it the 100 best rap albums of all time in 1998. Spin magazine names it one of the 300 best albums of the past 30 years in 2015, ranking at number 84. Tom Moon ranks it in 1,000 recordings to hear before you die in 2008. Also, Treble magazine names it the top 100 albums of the 90s, 10 per year, which ranked in at number 10 for one of its top 10 albums in 1993. Vibe magazine in 2007, Vibe magazine listed it as part of its 150 albums that define the Vibe era between 1992 and 2007. The legacy and influence has been noted for helping to establish a second golden age of hip hop and has been regarded of the pinnacle of the native tongues movement. Several hip hop critics and writers have cited that as the group's best album, despite it not being as acclaimed as the Low End Theory, lauding it as the group's masterwork. Writer Joseph Patel states, it's hard to believe they could top the Low End Theory by a tribe, but A Tribe Called Quest does so. And Q-Tip later contributed to the sounds of hardcore hip-hop throughout the mid-1990s and producing for artists such as Nas, Mobb Deep, and Cypress Hill, yet retaining elements the sound he created on Midnight Marauders. In a conversation with NEM, producer Mark Ronson says, the album changed the sound of East Coast hip-hop, which before was very noisy and aggressive, but Midnight Marauders just has this sheen to it. It wasn't too cleaned up or sanitized. That snares what still has the amazing crack to them, but it sounds like nothing you'd ever hear before. It changes everything. The singer Bilal names it approximately one of his top 25 favorite albums, explaining that it was just a special album to me. I like where they were as far as beat making. I think it changed a lot in hip hop on that record. In the 20th review for the album of XXL, rapper Talib Kweli gives it a perfect XXL rating and states, it's established Tribe as a commercial, mainstream, almost pop group but it did it by it being completely true to their rudiments, and it did it by finding the greatest jazz samples and making it the most classic underground hip-hop they could make. They were so good at making underground hip-hop that it went pop. Some of it, other well-known songs on this some of my other favorite songs on this album are Oh My God featuring Busta Rhymes, Keep It Rollin' with Large Professor, Lyrics to Go, God Lives Through, Clap Your Hands, Electric Relaxation, and Award Tour, which is probably my favorite song of all time from Midnight Marauders. This is one of my top 3 Tribe albums. It also is another part of one of my 100 greatest hip-hop albums. It's such an amazing album. If you guys have not heard, for those out there, if you have not heard this album, I'd highly recommend checking out Midnight Marauders. Like, if you like other, like I said, if you've listened to the other albums, People's Instinctive Travels and Low End Theory, check out A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders. Such an amazing album. It's one album you cannot miss a track or skip a track to. Easy rating 1 to 10, scale out of 10. I would rate it as an easy 10. And like the beats are just amazing. Such a jazzy sound without refraining to violence, gun talk, or any negativity. Straight positivity on Midnight Marauders. So that does it for today's music review. We'll be back next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Peace out and rock on. And Words of Q-Tip says on the song The Chase Part 2, rock on. Peace out.